Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1,000,000. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
There we go. Good morning. 9:06. It's weird not having my regular opening music when I say good morning. What a weird day. I've never had just cameras not work before like that. Welcome into our daily show. We got a big one for all of you. Jared Hennings joins us in just a couple of minutes. Really excited to have Jared on the show. We're going to be talking about upcoming tours that he is going to be providing here through Great Rivers and Routes. One coming up in just about 10 days on October the 19th. We'll learn all about it. Then Lacy McDonald joins us at 10:10. We're going to take a step into the time machine and go back 100 years ago. And then at 10:35, Happy Hour Barber Stop is dropping on into the studio. They have a trunk or treat coming down the pipeline, and we're going to learn ways that we can bring our kiddos out and be a part of the fun. But at 9:07, man, oh man, what a day. I don't know about you guys, but my sinuses have been so bad lately. I know I've been complaining a lot, but man, this time of year just smokes me every time. And I have had the worst migraine since, like, I mean, I couldn't shake it yesterday. I went to bed about 4:30 this morning, so this could be an interesting show. When I get tired, I get a little cranky, so we'll see what happens. Hey, here's what's happening around the Riverbend. Make sure you sign up for that daily email update and join 70,000 people every morning that get their daily dose of local. But throughout the day, join the hundreds of thousands of different individuals, 350,000 different individuals each and every month that are on Riverbender, and the millions of impressions that come along with it, your number one source of all things local. We'll take you to Godfrey to start our newscast today from 12 to 5 p.m. On Saturday, October the 19th, community members can enjoy vendors, cultivators, discounts, and deals at Village Dispensary in Godfrey. The dispensary will also sponsor a food drive where you can bring one bag of one bag of non-perishable food items to get 10% off your purchase. Allie and Allison, two reps from Village Dispensary, noted that they care about helping the community. We're very community-focused, Allie said. That's what we care about genuinely. It's easy when you care that much. Their food drive will start on the 19th of October and run through Thanksgiving, with proceeds benefiting several food pantries right here in the Riverbend region. Once a week, you can bring in one bag of non-perishable food items to get your 10% discount. The Fall Festival also marks the dispensary's half birthday. They've been open 6 months at 110 Northport Drive in Godfrey, and they're still welcoming new customers every day, many of whom come to take advantage of those daily deals. Whether you're a cannabis connoisseur or new to the THC scene, Village Dispensary has a wide range of products for every user. You can visit villagedispo.com to place your order or find out more about their offerings by going to the Fall Festival, October the 19th from 12 to 5. Also in the news this morning, this is really cool from Alton Little Theater. They're adding more excitement to their upcoming production of the much-anticipated Rocky Horror the Musical with that midnight showing on Halloween night. That's going to be so cool. Fans will have the chance to enter a special raffle to win a photograph from the Rocky Horror Picture Show signed by the one, the only, the legendary Tim Curry. The exclusive piece of pop culture memorabilia is sure to thrill any fan of the iconic film and musical and just folks alike. Here are the raffle details. Tickets are $5 each, which with no limit on entries. Increase your chances by purchasing as many as you can. You can buy raffle tickets during all of the Alton Little Theater show dates and box office hours. So go to altonlittletheater.org, see when their box office is open. You can get them there, or you can get them during the time you go and see the Rocky Horror Show. The winner will be drawn at intermission during their final matinee on the 3rd of November. You don't need to be present to win, but why not stick around and enjoy a nice Sunday matinee? This unique opportunity comes alongside Alton Little Theater's presentation of Rocky Horror the Musical, a cult favorite that promises a night of music, laughter, and outrageous fun. Whether you're a longtime fan or experiencing the madness for the first time, the show is sure to leave you wanting more. You can be a part of the show by going through October 25th, 6th, 27th, and November 1st, 2nd. Those are evening performances at 7:30 p.m. They have that special midnight showing October 31st, again at midnight, plus that one matinee on Sunday, November the 3rd. Tickets are $25 each and are now available through Alton Little Theater's website, altonlittletheater.org. Attendees are encouraged to come in costume, sing along, and join in the fun as Alton Little Theater welcomes you all. For more information on how to purchase tickets, altonlittletheater.org or 618-462-3205. Sydney Sinks bringing us this one from Alton. St. Mary's Catholic Church and School will host its annual Oktoberfest this weekend. The community staple includes fun for adults and kids of all ages, starting at 5:30 p.m. on October the 11th, Friday night, with a 5K run and 1 mile fun run. Families can also enjoy games, inflatables, live music, a silent auction, adult gaming, food and drinks until 11 p.m. on Friday. Plus, the fun continues from 1 to 11 p.m. on Saturday, October the 12th, and 12 to 8 p.m. on Sunday, October the 13th. The community gets together and has a good time, said Carolyn Szymanski, one of the organizers of Oktoberfest and the VP of marketing for the event. It means a lot. This is our biggest fundraiser all year long. It helps our school. It helps our parish. The weekend festivities kick off at 5:30 p.m. once again this Friday, October the 11th, with that 5K and fun run. But it's also sponsoring a beer dash where participants can keep a full cup of beer from spilling as they maneuver around the course. The Glendale Riders play from 7 to 11 p.m. on the main stage on Friday. The big kickoff is scheduled for 1 p.m. on Saturday, October the 12th, when one lucky parishioner will tap that keg. Ryan, another organizer, noted that the first keg of beer is traditionally free, and he emphasized that the beer is the official Oktoberfest beer from Munich, Germany this year. You can see all of the details by going to the St. Mary's Oktoberfest website, which is stmarysoktoberfest.com, or read the full write-up on Riverbender. One final bit of news for you today from Dalton Brown. We'll have more for you in the 10 o'clock news. The president of Alton Forward outlined the nonprofit's plan to bring high-speed internet to an estimated of over 95% of the homes in Alton, as stated at Monday's Committee of the Whole meeting. Alton Forward is the nonprofit arm of Alton Works, according to its website, and according to a 2023 legislative agenda for Alton Works, the company received $20 million from the Illinois Capital Development Board to construct a fiber optic network throughout the city of Alton. The broadband program, termed Alton Works FiberNet, will start in the downtown business district before expanding throughout the city, eventually bringing high-speed internet and free Wi-Fi to the entire area. Alton Works will construct a fiber optic network throughout Alton that will deliver symmetrical 10 gigabit speed enterprise level service to Alton residents and businesses, the agenda states. All users will be connected with fiber laterals, and wireless antennas will be installed to bathe the area in robust free Wi-Fi. At Monday's meeting, Alton Forward President Mark Carly spoke highly of the FiberNet plan, claiming that it will bring Alton into the, quote, new age of the digital economy. Here's another quote: "We have this incredible opportunity to lay fiber as utility throughout Alton. Alton Works, upon getting its $20 million grant from the state, committed itself to laying this fiber into as many homes as possible. Right now, we look like we're going to get at least 95% of the homes in Alton, and every home that is certainly below the poverty line, and many, many more. The fiber will bring us into the new age of the digital economy. This is very important. This is a game changer for Alton if we use it right." That's the end of the quote. He also said the fiber network would revolutionize Alton as, quote, digitally relevant and a competitive city, offering every resident the chance to participate in telemedicine, remote work, and more. However, he noted that for the network to maximize its impact, Alton Forward needs to make it more accessible by providing devices to those in need. Carly said that a digital equity and inclusion task force was assembled to find ways to make the upgraded network more accessible to Alton residents. Members suggested purchasing 350 laptops for, quote, low-income, unconnected, end quote, households, leading to related resolution for Alton City Council consideration. More details are available in additional stories on RiverBender.com related to that specific topic. A full recording of the October 8th Alton Committee of the Whole meeting is available at the top of the RiverBender.com news story for this portion of it, and available at RiverBender.com /video. It's 9:16 and 53 degrees. It's going to be nice, man. It's going to be a good old day. 53 feels like 59, but this is why I had that migraine out the wazoo yesterday. Still have it. 94% humidity out there. It feels like 60. Today, sunny and warm, and tonight, clear. Air quality at 52, which is moderate. Grass is low today at 2. Mold low, ragweed low, so are the tree levels. The UV index will be moderate today. Temperatures will reach 81 degrees. They'll drop down to 48 overnight as we head into Thursday. On the 10th day of October, a high of 85, a low of 48 degrees. On Friday, another high of 85, a low of 53. On Saturday, the hottest day of the next 5, and then a dramatic cool down. A high of 86 on Saturday, a low of 57, but then it drops 20 degrees overnight into Sunday. On Sunday, a high of only 66 degrees, a low of 43, and that's a look at the next 5 days. You can stay up to date in real time all the time by going to RiverBender.com/weather or by calling 618-465-4545, the time and temperature line, this time powered by Bounce Back Rehab, Recover, and Return Home. Hey, what are you doing today? Head on over to Alton Little Theater's website and get your tickets for Rocky Horror, the show. This is going to be a great one, man. This is going to be a midnight showing on Halloween. Think about it. What better way to kind of celebrate the occasion with your loved ones, your friends, your family, and going in and just enjoying some of the best performers in our region. I mean, making God laugh turned every head in the book. They had one of the most successful showings in over 12 years. And I think Rocky Horror, I think that's going to beat it. I'm telling you what, with this signed Tim Curry photograph that you can win, there's so much more fun that awaits you at Alton Little Theater in the next couple of weeks. Go to altonlittletheater.org right now, and don't forget to get your tickets, or just call the box office starting at 10 o'clock today at 618-462-3205. That's 618-462-3205. We'll take a quick break. Let's take a look at downtown Alton, and we'll come back with more Daily Show after this.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and it will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
I don't need you to worry for me, 'cause I'm all right. I don't want you to tell me it's time to come home. I don't care what you say anymore, this is my life. Go ahead with your own.
9:22. Welcome back to our daily show on this 9th day of October, a Wednesday morning. Lacy McDonald joining us at 10:10 today too.
Lacy is always on your show, isn't she?
It is a history day today on this Wednesday.
That's good.
We were talking the other day, Jared, and coming up on the 19th of October, a really great opportunity for all of us to learn more about Alton's diverse history through this Freedom to Equality tour. Right off the bat, let's break this down. And what is this all about?
Basically, it is an opportunity where we present information relative to historical places that have an African American bend to them. There is some Underground Railroad information relative to the Rocky Fork settlement area, which is in Godfrey. But a lot of the tour focuses in on abolitionists or people who were empathetic to those freedom seekers who were traveling from south to north, trying to seek their safe havens. And that's basically the premise of the tour. There is some Underground Railroad information, but most of it is bent on individuals and locations.
Well, and what I think is really cool about this, and I was just reading that, this is a more intimate setting, too, where you aren't necessarily 100 people walking around with you, about 20 per group?
Yes. Normally there is a tour bus that the maximum seating is about 20 people. And so where I begin is that we will leave the visitor center and we will head to Godfrey. And on the way, I just give a little bit of background information as far as who founded Alton, give a little bit of background information about Rufus Easton. Then we head to Rocky Fork, and that is an Underground Railroad location that was it's a verifiable one based on the National Park Service, and it was kind of settled in around 1816, but then due to the relationship with the AME Church, it became New Bethel Rocky Fork, New Bethel AME Rocky Fork settlement. And so the church there, the New Bethel Church, was built in about 1869. And so there were the freedom seekers who were heading north, and the Rocky Fork settlement area was the first location that they landed or that they found as they were heading either to Chicago or Detroit, and then even as far north as Canada.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and I know that sometimes with the Underground Railroad, when folks come in, that some of the spots that people may have thought were Underground Railroad locations might necessarily not have been those locations, but this is a verifiable Underground Railroad location.
Yes. And there was a woman by the name of Priscilla Baltimore who assisted a lot of the freedom seekers, and she is denoted as being the Moses of the West, meaning that it is cited that she assisted a minimum of around 300 freedom seekers who were seeking their safe haven. And that's one real significant aspect about going to Rocky Fork. After we leave Rocky Fork, then we are heading to the Alton Cemetery. But as we're going in that direction, I give a little bit of background information on Benjamin Godfrey, because Rocky Fork is located in Godfrey. So, I just give a little bit of background information on Godfrey. And I think that people in this community probably know, but he was the individual that donated $53,000 of his own money to create Monticello College. And Monticello College is the precursor to Lewis and Clark Community College. And so Godfrey is known for his philanthropy. And so I give a little bit of background information on Godfrey. Then we head, as I mentioned, to the Alton Cemetery, but by way of the Middletown area of Alton. So Lyman Trumbull's house is located on Henry Street. And there are people that probably know about Trumbull. He was a Republican. He was a senator. He was one of the individuals who is highly regarded as being one of the creators of the Republican Party. And so he was the co-author of the 13th Amendment, which was the amendment that abolished slavery. So his home is right there on Henry Street, and his home has a designation which is one of the highest designations in our country. It's on the National Registry of the National Registry of Historic Places.
Right.
And so we stop there, give a little bit of background information on Trumbull, and then that's when we head to the Alton Cemetery. I mean, obviously you can't talk about anything that is historical without some information relative to Lovejoy, to Elijah Lovejoy.
Right.
And so his monument is there, and the Lovejoy Monument is the tallest monument in the state of Illinois.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Wow.
It steeps upward right at 110 feet tall. And so people probably don't realize that the Lovejoy Monument is the tallest monument within the state. And
wow.
So, yeah.
You know what? It's just incredible, though, because it goes back to the reason why I started the show, Jared, is because so many times you drive by these places.
Yeah.
I mean, how many thousands of people drive by going to Duke Bakery, Trumbull's house, and going by Lovejoy and just looking at it or barely noticing it sometimes, not realizing that we're really in a time machine of history. I mean, there's so many connections and overlaps and historical significances. It's not like one of the towns I used to live in when I was doing pro wrestling was historic, but the historic significance really wasn't a historic significance. It was just an age. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but we have this treasured history and one of these legacies to preserve, but also learn. And I challenge anybody that's my age to go and learn about where you live and love it, because there's a lot of things to really love and preserve here. And just like this tour, a lot of good spots.
Yeah. I mean, and then, once we're in the Alton Cemetery, there is a marker there, a gravestone that is a tribute to the person who was the first colored individual that graduated from Alton High School. His name is Charles Newton.
Was he in Vintage Voices last year?
He
was represented.
He was. That is exactly true. Yeah. And so he graduated from Alton High School in 1873. But even though he graduated from Alton High School, technically he didn't really attend Alton High School because that was the age of segregation. He really attended Lincoln School, but because he had acquired the academics that were necessary for him to graduate, he was invited to participate in the graduation ceremonies. And so, and not only was he invited to participate, he was even invited to present a speech. And so it was called the Rise and Fall of Roman Eloquence. So Newton had a prestigious kind of background in that he was the first colored person to graduate from the high school, and that he was even invited to present an address there. So that is definitely noteworthy.
Absolutely. Well, and then also, it's one of the individuals that would be hard to not talk about would be Scott Bibb, who I saw was featured on this tour as well.
Yes, and Scott Bibb, really, after we leave the Alton Cemetery, then we go by the Scott Bibb Center.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Scott Bibb, his marker, his historical marker is right there at, I want to say, 5th and Ridge, because the Scott Bibb Center is under the auspices of Lewis and Clark Community College. And so Scott Bibb was an individual. He's noteworthy mainly because from 1872 to 1897, the Alton Public Schools were integrated. And then for some odd reason in 1897, they decided that they wanted to segregate the school system. And so Scott Bibb filed a lawsuit against the school board and against the city of Alton because he wanted his 2 kids, Minnie and Ambrose, to continue to attend Washington School. And so he filed this lawsuit. It was a lawsuit that went through 7 jury trials and 5 appeals in excess of 10 to 11 years. And the remarkable aspect of it is that the lawsuit went all the way to the state Supreme Court. He won the lawsuit, but for some odd reason, the city nor the Alton School Board did not comply to the verdict. Now, I don't know why they did not have to comply, but they did not.
Wow.
So because he sued the city of Alton and the school board, and because it went all the way to the Supreme Court, is the reason why what he did was noteworthy.
But could you imagine that, though? And one of those, just putting it into perspective, you fight,
Yeah.
you win, and you still lose.
Exactly.
That's it. That's just something that's incredible in all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Well, and Illinois during that time was a free state, and so you would have thought that maybe since we were designated as a free state, there would have been a little bit more empathy towards Bibb's plight,
right.
but there really wasn't. Yeah.
That's just so interesting to me. And especially, and Lacy and I have talked about that too, of Alton going from, not having segregation and all of a sudden segregating their schools.
Yeah.
It's very, very bizarre, and what do you attribute that to? Do you have any thoughts?
The only aspect that I can maybe speculate is that during that generational time, the city of Alton was kind of separate based on how it was governed.
Okay.
And in Upper Alton had an integrated style of a school system, and then they had gone to a segregated style. And so I'm thinking that maybe the city of Alton was piggybacking on what was occurring in Upper Alton, and since Upper Alton went from an integrated to a segregated style of schooling, then I think Alton just kind of piggybacked on that. That's about the only reason that I can think that maybe they decided to change.
And that would make somewhat, somewhat sense. It still doesn't, but it does in that relevance. But getting into this too, coming up on October the 19th, how long do these tours run?
The tours will run right around 2 hours.
Okay.
They begin at 10 and they go from 10 until noon. And so it's normally the tours do not last any longer than 2 hours, but that is some of the information that we basically cover. The only addition to that is that we go about Union Baptist because that is a church that was formed in around 1837, and they had held a colored convention there to dispatch ministers throughout the state, and their cause, their mission was to repeal the black codes. And so by having this meeting in 1856, they dispatched these ministers throughout the state, and they were able to, on the to piggyback on the 13th Amendment, and so their meeting was able to satisfy their mission, which was to repeal the black codes. And the black codes, it was an outline of where people of color could not marry, they could not carry weapons, they could not vote, they could not collectively assemble. And so this was a way to repeal what at that time was obviously a very serious way to cause injustice. But at least that did satisfy their mission.
Man, I mean, but see, you know, and what I think so fascinating too is for all of us that grew up in Alton, you know, went to Alton School District or even went private. You know, a lot of us didn't really learn half of this information whenever we were growing up, and I'm honest about it. I don't remember learning this in school, and it's so important, I think, for especially children that are in elementary school or middle school and especially high school to go and learn about some of these very important things that are happening here. But also, is there an age requirement? Do you kind of recommend a more mature audience for this?
You know, I would probably say, I mean, because there have been kids that have come on the tour. I would probably say a minimum, a good minimum age would be a teenager. So I'm thinking, you know, late middle school, 13 years of age, just so that they can comprehend the information and be able to attribute it. And so, but you know, probably a minimum of 13 years of age upwards.
Okay.
And so, and then, you know, lastly, we wrap up the tour at the Miles Davis statue. You know,
absolutely.
Yeah, you know, I mean, people in this community probably realize that Miles Davis was born in Alton, but there are some people who may view that because Miles Davis grew up in East St. Louis, that maybe he was born in East St. Louis. But no, he was born here in Alton. His father was a dental surgeon. His mother was a blues pianist, and their family moved out of Alton. Probably Miles wasn't too far past around 3 years of age. So he did spend the majority of his life in East St. Louis, but he was born here. And our statue here, we house, no, I guess the house is not the right word, but Alton is the only city in the continental United States that has a Miles Davis statue. There are two other statues internationally. Internationally, there is one in Kelt. It's called Kelt, Poland. And then the other Miles Davis statue is in Nice, France. But as far as in the continental United States, Alton is the only city that has a Miles Davis statue.
I was watching a biography or documentary on him. Very fascinating and very interesting life too. I mean, very, very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Miles definitely. I mean, he is considered to be one of the most iconic jazz trumpeters.
Absolutely.
As a matter of fact, his album called All Blue is the highest grossing selling jazz album all time.
Wow.
And so he is regarded very highly, obviously.
Right. And you know, Jared, I think this is great that Great Rivers and Routes, you know, provides these opportunities. And just take me through your time, you know, being a part of these tours. And you know, what have you gained from doing this? Because, you know, even though you know the information already, it's got to feel different and almost a way for you to relearn it when you're presenting to others that have maybe never even heard of these events for the first time, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this is only my second season leading these tours, but I must say it does broaden my appreciation as far as where I live. It makes me realize that I really live in a very special area. I think people, once they take the tour, they feel likewise because you know, a lot of this information you probably just drive by. You do not realize that all of this fantastic history is a part of where we live. So, you know, it's something that makes you more appreciative as to where you live, as to how your life integrates with where you live also.
Absolutely. And, what's the best way for more information? How do we get tickets? And what time are we departing on the 19th? And then the last tour of the season will be on November the 10th.
That is correct.
At what time?
That will also be at 10 o'clock. Each tour on each Saturday starts at 10. We will leave from the Visitor Center, from the Rivers and Routes, the Alton Visitors Bureau, right there. What is that?
Landmarks.
Landmarks and
Paisaw?
Okay, thank you. That sounds correct. Yeah.
Close.
Yeah.
It's close.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
right
yeah.
in front of the mill.
Yes, exactly. So all you do is that you go to the website riversandroutes.com, and then once you get to the homepage, then you scroll down. You will see a button that says "Buy Ticket." Mm-hmm. You just click on that, and then that will take you to the icon that says "Freedom to Equality." Now, the caveat is that for October, for this one in the 19th, that is the manner by which you can reserve your tickets. Mm-hmm. For the 10th, you probably just need to give me a phone call.
Okay.
Because for the tour on the 10th, I am going to personally have to reserve the shuttle bus.
Okay.
And so if individuals have a sincere interest, just give me a call, and then I can make sure that the shuttle bus has already been reserved, but just to make sure that there are enough seats. So I can definitely leave you my phone number,
and we'll connect that way. Or is email better, or is it phone?
Phone is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So leave that with me, and we'll connect it in the write-up, too.
That sounds great.
But really, just thanks for stopping by and filling us in on this. This is a great opportunity coming our way, not this weekend, but next Saturday, the following Saturday,
That's
the
right.
19th of October, from 10 a.m. to roughly about 12 noon. This is a great opportunity to learn about just some of Alton's vast history and just the prominence, of so many major topics of our country's history.
Yes, it is. You're right, CJ.
Jared, thanks for stopping by. We'll link everything in a write-up, and you're welcome back anytime to fill us in on more.
All right. Thank you for the opportunity, CJ. Appreciate it.
No problem. 9:43 is the time. We'll take a little bit of a pause here. Come back with our daily show on this Wednesday morning as my sinus migraine rolls around the corner.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Mungan Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Mungan Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Mungan Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
No matter the season, Played Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Played Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
And you know what way.
9:17, welcome back. Tuesday morning, smacking you in the face. It is beautiful outside. I mean, what a morning, you know? We're almost at deer hunting weather, you know?
Yes, it is.
Brian, how are we doing, man?
I'm doing great.
So we were talking a little bit. Farm Meat LLC, this is really cool. So you have 40 acres
Yep.
that you were deer hunting on, still are.
Yep.
How's the season been the past couple of years? Has it been okay?
Been pretty good.
There you go. A
Not
lot better
bad.
than my buddies are doing.
Yep.
So tell me how you got into cattle before we even start the conversation, because this is just great.
Yeah, so we were deer hunting, and on the 40 acres, I had 10 acres that we weren't really using, and I got tired of mowing. So we fenced it in, and I bought a few cows and put on there to just stop mowing.
How quickly did the mowing stop?
Pretty quick. I was done with it.
So I think this is really a great conversation to have, because especially right now, Brian, just, nationally, a lot of people are talking about our unhealthy food options, and especially meat, man. I mean, I didn't realize how bad some of this product is. And a lot of people are looking for more locally sourced and home raised product. And now to have this is a really great thing for the area.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. It's connecting consumers with farmers that may be 5 miles down the road that you don't even know exist, or you're not going to stop by their house and knock on their door and say, hey, do you got a side of beef I could buy? So
right. That's a good point.
So this is just bringing that connection to everyone.
And did you realize that when you bought the initial cattle for your mowing project, what you would be turning it into?
No, I didn't. My family had always bought a side of beef from local farmers, and then as I got older, I got out of it, and then as I had kids, I started looking for how do I buy a side of beef from a local farmer, and I had lost some connections and stuff. So as I started raising them, I went to go and sell them. I was like, oh, where do I sell? How do I get rid of the extra cows that I don't want?
Right.
So I saw the problems that farmers have. They're focused on their operations, but then they got to learn how to do marketing. They got to get it out there. So that's where I kind of put the two together and said, okay, I know the consumer side. I know the farming side now, some of those challenges. How do I put this together?
So this is brilliant, and that's what perfect lead-in, because at farmmeat.com is where you can see this. And now take me through how the website works, because I'm on it now, and we can kind of go through it here just for the folks at home in a quick couple of seconds. This is the home page, and just right off the bat, featured farmers are right there. So what happens when I click on see more?
So when you go and see more or go and search, you actually get taken to the farm that you clicked on. So there's 3 farms right now, one in Jerseyville, one in Carrollton, and one in Beecher City, which is up kind of Taylorville area.
Okay.
So those farms have product ready to sell. You see what the processor date is. That's the date the farmer will actually take to the processor. And then with beef, they usually hang them for 2 weeks, 10 days, somewhere in that range. And then they cut them up per your cutting instructions. So you're going to go, you pick out which one you want, look at the processor of where the processor is, because you want to kind of get a processor local to you.
Right.
Those processors, one's going to Springfield, one's going to Highland, and the other one goes to Oconee, Illinois. So you pick where you want to pick it up from, and the date that you want that it's going to the processor, and you place your order. Now from that order, the farm that'll send a message to the farmer. The farmer actually accepts that making sure that they've got the inventory. So they accept your order. You'll get an invoice for a deposit. You pay the deposit, and then whenever the farmer delivers the beef to the processor, which there's some in October and November, once they deliver it, they'll get the actual hanging weight. Now, if you don't know what a hanging weight is, you got the live animal weight that when they go in, the hanging weight is after they've been dispatched and the insides are taken out. It's the meat and the bones that is hanging there on the rail. So that's the price you're paying is based off of the hanging weight. So the farmer will go and the processor will give the actual hanging weight. So you got some credibility that you know what the actual hanging weight is. They put that in, and then the final invoice gets sent to you. Now, a couple of those farmers, you'll notice 2 of the farmers, processing cost is included in that price.
Right.
The other one, the processing, you pay directly to the processor. So there's no middleman in this. It's supply chain is farmer to processor to you.
This is so cool. Because this needed to be modernized for such a long time. And take me through some of the conversations you're having with just those 3, farms and those farmers, and talking about how just it's made this process so much easier for them. Because there's been so many times, man. Just you type into Google, that same exact search. Where can I find this? And it's like a needle in a haystack for so many. This is great. So what are those conversations like?
Yeah, so the farmers, like right now, we're in harvest season.
Right.
They don't have the time to be spending out on Facebook and trying to learn marketing and get all their information out there. So this is a great opportunity for you to be able to buy 24/7. You're not texting with the farmers. They're doing the harvesting.
Right.
So it just brings all this together and makes it much easier for them. And then on here, there's education component to it. Because there's a lot of people, as I talk to consumers, I've never bought direct from a farmer. So I go to the store, I grab my ribeye, and that's how I buy.
What says it's a ribeye?
Yeah. So how do I buy from a farmer? So it's on this website, there's a cut sheet. So as you're talking to the butcher, what are the questions they're going to ask? This walks you through. It gives you a sample cut sheet. Do you want 3/4 inch steak? Do you want 1 inch steak? How do you want your roast cut up? How do you want the hamburger packaged? Do you want patties? Do you want 1 inch or 1 pound tubes or 2 pound? So it walks you through that process, making it a more straightforward process.
Well, that's so important too, because I'm sure that's a huge hang up in a lot of those transactions or a lot of those conversations, because especially like you said, it's harvest season. We got 18,000 more and seriously more important things to do on the totem pole. And it's like, well, I don't have time really to talk about cuts right now. For a first timer here, I got to keep moving. Man, and that's what we're pulling up here now is just some of that sample sheet for the folks to look at. And we're going to link everything in a write-up on RiverBender that'll take you right to it. But it's really great to know that education's there, but also I just talking about why it's important to buy local. And it's not, of course, supporting local is important, but there's so many health and nutrition aspects to this that make it so much more important to do so.
Yeah, so with buying local, the farm that it's coming from. You can, as the farms are doing their write-ups and stuff, they're telling you how they're raising these animals. So you know how they're being raised. You know that it's local. So from an environmental standpoint, sustainability, you don't have stuff being trucked from Western U.S. to the Midwest. Eventually, this is going to expand out, but right now we're really focused on the Midwest area. And then from there, it's not feedlots. So these are cows that are out grazing the pasture.
Right.
And then you can look, and if you may want grass-fed, grass-finished, well, you can go and find the farm that has that. The ones that are on there right now they're on pasture, but then they're grain finished, which gives you a lot more marbling and stuff. So it really opens up for consumer choice as to what you want, and you able to pick.
Well, and on top of that, just going back to that education, component of it too, for us to learn, a little bit of that process is important for everybody too.
Absolutely. We've seen it in 2020, and since then, you need to know where you're meat and where your food's coming from. And people are just a lot more health conscious now.
Well, and it's honestly a great thing. And now to have this in our region, though, because this is something that I would expect happening really in another portion, maybe a little bit more in that, west central United States where you have this, software and all of this, but to have this more localized is a really big incentive. And now, have you had folks that reaching out that says, hey, how can I be a part of farm meat? How can I get my inventory there? And if so, how is that possible?
Yeah, so I've had a few farmers reach out and see how to put it on there. It's a very simple process where you go, you sign up. I use Stripe in the back end for all the payment processing and to hold the farmer's information, banking information for when I pay the farmer. It's no different than like an eBay or some of those an Etsy, where you sign up, they hold on to that information and pay the vendors out. And then once you have a product on there, it's really copy and pasting from 1 month to the next. If you're taking product to the butcher every month, you really just copy that information over because the information about the cow is the same.
Right.
And I do inventory management. So if you're taking 4 cows to the butcher in October, you put in that you take 4. You're not creating 4 different entries. So then as you sell those, it actually takes off that half a cow is no longer available once your inventory gets below a half.
Okay.
So if you only got a quarter left to sell, it's only going to show to the users that you got a quarter left to sell.
Well, that's even more important, too, because that's a lot of that, those couple of minutes add up.
Absolutely.
Man, this is really cool. You got a moment to stick around?
Yeah.
I got to take a quick break. 9:27, more Daily Show hitting you right in the nose with Farm Meat LLC right after this. Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Divs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Get paid to go solar.
We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call Grid when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Welcome back to our Daily Show. Here's CJ.
9:30, welcome back. Daily Show hitting you in the nose on a Tuesday. Brian back in studio, Farm Meat LLC. This is really cool. And you know, just getting in, Brian, to the different cuts and different sizes again, because, you know, for me, and I'll be honest with you, I've always seen the post about half a cow and, you know, all of those different sizes, but what do they truly mean? And if you could kind of break them down to what maybe a first-time consumer could expect on the longevity of it, you know, what you could make out of it, all of that good stuff.
Yep. Yeah. So with beef, you could buy a whole beef or a whole cow. Generally, people aren't doing that unless it's split up amongst multiple families in your family, multiple kids and aunts or something. But what we allow is you buy a quarter or a half.
Okay.
Now, a quarter is often called a half of a half. So you don't get the hind quarter or the front quarter. You actually get half of a whole side.
Oh, okay.
So, and why that's important is because you got roasts.
Right.
Your steaks all are different based on the front versus the back quarter. So you're getting a half of a half is what it's sometimes called. And you go in and you pick, I want a quarter. So from there, you're going to get a roast. It's about 180 pounds is the last cow. Hanging weight was 180 pounds.
Okay.
Now, with that, once they go through and actually start cutting that down, you're going to have some loss due to bones and other stuff that gets tossed away. But you're going to get, you're going to select the hamburger, you get a half or a quarter of a brisket, you get roast. And so and on that cut sheet we had up earlier, it lays out all the different pieces. And if you want your tallow, if you want your, which is the fat, if you want your beef, tongue, liver, those are available to you. A lot of people don't get those because a lot of people aren't eating that stuff as much anymore. But that's available to you. And then as you look at the cut sheet, each one, there's actually on the website, you can see by family size how long that meat will actually typically take.
That's
or last you.
That's really cool. Man, that's really cool.
And along with freezer space and stuff. That's all on the website under the shopping guide.
That's really cool. And we'll go there here in a second. And so on your shopping guide too, I see that you got beef and pork. And now, how does pork differ from beef? Because I'm sure that these animals cut differently. I'm sure, and that that process is a little bit different in terms of loss. Do you lose more in a cow than you would a pig, or do you kind of lose more weight in a pig than you would a cow?
No, I mean it's all based on percentages.
Is it really?
So
okay.
It's not going to be that much different. But I mean, with a hog, they're a much smaller animal. So typically those are either sold as a whole hog or a half.
Okay.
You're not buying a quarter with a hog.
Oh, so it is only a half or a whole for a hog.
Yeah.
Okay.
The farmer has that option to select when they're listing the inventory as to how they want to sell it.
Cool.
Some farmers will only want to sell it as a whole, and which is great if you're wanting to do a whole hog barbecue.
Right.
So have it dropped off at the processor. They'll dispatch it. They'll get it to where it's ready to be cut up, but then you just go pick it all up and then go do your barbecue. So
man, that's cool. Yeah,
that's a great way. I'm talking to a couple farms right now about adding lambs or sheep. So you'll be able to get that here in the near future as well.
Really neat.
And again, those are usually sold based on a whole lamb because they're a smaller animal. So you may only get 30 to 40 pounds of meat out of a lamb.
And honestly, though, a lot of times that's perfect for anybody. The 30 or 40 pounds for a good while.
Absolutely. And what it also helps you do is you can buy it with this site because it's always been word of mouth,
right?
That you sold before.
Exactly.
So if I didn't have the conversation with the farmer, it was a year before I would maybe get another one. Now with this site, I can buy a smaller quantity because maybe my budget doesn't allow me to buy a half. So I can buy a quarter then go back on in 3-4 months and buy another quarter or buy another lamb.
This is what I think's so important about it too, because you're right, especially right now, money's a little bit tighter for folks. So it to still be able to have that good quality meat and not have to worry about, scraping some money together or maybe grabbing your buddy and going in half and half to get through it. You're a lot easier, to get that process done. And now I did find that that sheet on your website, which is really easy to find. This is a great site, man. It's really accessible. This is really interesting. So a fourth of a cow will last you about 15 to 25 weeks. You're going to get 80 to 100 pounds of beef, and then 50 to 70 meals for a family of 4 to 5.
Yes.
So for one person, that's pretty much a year.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Honestly.
Yeah, depending on your family size, it can last a whole year.
That's incredible. I mean, honestly, I didn't realize that.
Yep.
So, I mean, when people look at the price of this is a really good eye-opener to, how much you're saving in the long run, because if you think about those Chinooks runs, hell, by the time you go every 2 or 3 days for that butcher bundle for $20, you're better off buying a good quality piece of locally raised beef.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right here.
Yep, you know right where it came from. And
I'm a fan.
Helping out your local community.
I am 100% a fan.
Yeah.
Well, and what's this do for that farmer? Because I know that, and I don't want to say I know, I could only assume that, for a lot of folks that are focused on, harvesting and their crops and product that way, that maybe this could be an income booster for some. Is this a good way to kind of keep just some money rolling all year round without having to stop and keep going into a different direction?
Yeah, so, I mean, the other option for a farmer, if they don't sell direct to consumer, is it goes to the auction barn.
Okay.
And then they get whatever the auction barn wants to give them, which is then also sometimes tied to the big four producers that are taking them out west. Not producers, but the big four chains that sell directly to the grocery store. So this is taking them out of that path and getting you right in control and working with the farmers. So
this is incredible. Keeping
the money local. I mean, that's what it does.
Well, and talk about that streamlined process, too, because, I mean, for consumers, this is great. Because for me, I only saw the posts on Facebook when someone would share them, like, hey, who wants to go in on this? Or there's, beef available. And now to be able to sit here and go, well, I can actually do this myself. It's not one of those processes where you don't know any of the information, because it's right here. I mean, you have a whole buying guide on how to do this and a step-by-step process. I mean, you've done this. How much time are we saving with Farm Meat LLC and this website?
It's a huge time saver from a consumer perspective.
Right.
Think back before Airbnb was a thing. So what you had to do to find a condo was you had to know someone, or you had to look in the classified ads of Craigslist
and hope for the best.
And hope for the best. So what I've done, and now with the farms, you either got to know the farm name.
Welcome back in at 10:08. Lacy McDonald in studio. We'll be getting ready to start. We just had Jared on the show before you. We were talking about the Freedom to Equality tours. We'll have more with Lacy with her article 100 years ago, but coming up just this evening, so many of our relatives down in the Florida Panhandle and Tampa getting ready to experience yet another devastating hurricane, and wanted to take you to this before we went to break. This is what some of our friends are already experiencing at 11:08 right now currently. As you can see, Hurricane Milton getting ready to come on into fruition here. So we'll take a quick break. More Daily Show 100 years ago at Lacy McDonald continues right after this one on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
As they drag you by your feet, but the hangman isn't hanging, and they put you on the street. Yeah, you go back, Jack, do it again. Wheel turning round and round. You go back, Jack, do it again.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Rest my spirit if I can. Perhaps I may become a highwayman again. Or I may simply be a single drop of rain. But I will remain. And I'll be back again and again and again and again and again.
1012, welcome back. Lacy McDonald told you we'd be coming right back. Man, it's kind of ominous to look at the webcams now. What has media done to us? You know, I was kind of thinking about that during the break, like even with like the war coverage and things like that.
Yes.
To really put into perspective, you know, like some of these natural disasters and things that are coming, it's like an eerie movie sometimes when you see some of those things and you see the ocean waters receding and you know what's going to come. It's very, just really scary, honestly.
It's really scary, and I don't think we are, as humans, equipped to deal with that much trauma that in our face at all times. I mean, the world has always had really horrific things going on,
Right.
but we used to be a little bit more removed. You know, you'd read about it in the newspaper the next day, you'd get a letter from a relative weeks after something horrific happened, and now we are experiencing it in real time with people all over the world, which, I mean, on one hand, then you understand how horrific something is, and you can empathize, and you can be more motivated to do what you can to help. But it also means that we're always in this state of anxiety.
Yeah.
And I think it really can affect just the average person's mental health.
Well, and honestly, on top of that, too, it's a great point. On top of that, I mean, just, you know, with the Marina connection and how many folks really do snowbird down in the Florida region. And this is the time where normally folks start to make their trek, and you got relatives down there. I know my my aunt and uncle and all of them that live in Tampa and are kind of bracing for impact. And it's like, it just really kind of, it modernizes these disasters in a way that just kind of makes it to where it's just kind of alarming for so many, it's just very kind of in your face.
I lived in Sarasota for several years.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
It's a nice part of Florida.
Yeah, but like I'm seeing these pictures and it's places I've been and near where I live.
Man, it's just wild. And just to see that, though, the ocean receding, just bizarre, Well, honestly, what I find fascinating is reading about some of the natural disasters in the 1800s that, I mean, the way that they're detailed in the writing, it's like Armageddon times 50 sometimes for some of those tornadoes, especially in the Dust Bowl and all of that. Could you imagine if we had cameras, I mean, real high-definition cameras to see some of that back then? Isn't that wild? Because there wasn't a lot of buildings to block wind or any of those things. It was just open plains in the Midwest, and that's just, it's something I think about when it comes to like weather and all of those type of events that hit us.
Yeah.
I wouldn't last. 100 years ago, murder! Dun, dun, dun!
Yes. I couldn't be more dramatic.
I was ready for this. I was ready to talk.
Sorry, I dropped the ball there.
I always find old trials fascinating too.
But like, old trials are like dramatizations of old trials.
Ooh. Good point. Continue.
So this week's topic isn't just murder, it's an escaped murderer. Because 100 years ago, he almost turned himself in for a crime committed 130 years ago.
Hit some record scratches.
Yeah.
Drop the mic. So this is actually really kind of interesting. I was reading this a couple of days ago, and I mean, this is the fact that there's not a movie about this guy, honestly, is kind of fascinating.
I know. I kept like interrupting coworkers' real work to be like, guess what I just found out about this murder? And they were like, okay, Lacy, maybe you should write this all down somewhere else and then you can share it with us.
We'll read it in a couple of days.
Well, the part of the issue was I was trying to, distill this down into an article, and there were all these like twisty paths that I went down at the same time. And so I needed to tell somebody about those, but that it didn't all make it in here.
I love this. Yeah. I mean, can I just kind of, I feel like the way to open this up is St. Louis, October 1. I mean, so elegantly written, too.
Yes.
Man, for a murderer, this guy knew how to write. I escaped from the St. Louis jail in 1896 while under the sentence of death for murder. I am now old and feeble and will give myself up. If you promise not to hang me, I'm willing to go to the penitentiary. Put a notice in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch giving your promise, and I'll give myself up to anybody you mention in the notice. Yours truly, Noble Shepherd, and welcome to Halloween season.
Noble Shepherd. His name is Noble
Welcome
Shepherd.
to Halloween season. I mean, it doesn't
you added
get
that part. That's not in the original letter.
But it should be. I mean, that is about as creepy as you can get. So take me to the story of Noble Shepherd, who is a real person.
Right, real person. And the letter, the article with this letter is the first thing that I found when I was trying to figure out what I was going to write for this week. And I thought, well, I got to look more into this. And so this man sent this letter to the governor of Missouri.
Oh.
Put it in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch as his way of giving it to the governor. So he sent a letter that was postmarked in St. Louis but didn't have like a address. Sent this to the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, and they published it. And so apparently, this didn't make it into the article, but apparently, this was 1924, so they had no idea who this guy was. They had to like go through their files to even figure out what he had done and what had happened and all of that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but he had killed a man and a woman in 1894. Christmas Eve, 1894. It was actually extremely horrific. And then went through trials and was sentenced to hang and escaped from the Four Courts jail building in St. Louis 2 days before his death sentence could be carried out. So he used a saw to cut through a plate in the back of the cell, crawled through a hole. one of the articles said he actually climbed over the scaffolding that was supposed to hang him and then went out to freedom. There were reports that he was in different parts of Illinois. There was one that he was in Mexico. But 30 years later, here he is in St. Louis.
Still living just right next door to the jail he broke out of.
I mean, kind of.
Right.
And so he was like, all right, I'll come back if you promise not to hang me.
But if you're old and feeble, wouldn't you just want to kind of go anyway? You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a couple of people that would think that way. I mean, if your back's hurting and you're sick, you know.
Well, I mean.
You get what I point?
But hanging, I don't know.
That's true. It's not like you're getting something. Yeah, I mean, you are getting. Now, the question, though, for this, seriously, is. Number one, this is the movie portion of it is the love triangle that he claimed.
But, yes.
But the other part to this that I find so fascinating is for so many people, you know, they always go, well, now when folks get the death sentence, you're waiting 20, 30 years on death row. And people always go, well, when did that start happening? Well, apparently it's been there because this happened in 1894, and this is 1924, right? And he's writing a letter, and he escaped what, in 19...
He escaped 30 years. He committed the murder in 1894, and then 1896 was when he was going to be killed.
Right. So, but even 2 years for back then to be on death row, is kind of a little like it's not the conveyor belt people made it out to be.
Yes. He was not arrested right away. He was arrested within a couple weeks. It took him a while to figure out what had actually happened.
I stand corrected then.
And then they had a trial and everything. But I mean, yeah, it was quite a bit of time later. It wasn't just an immediate...
Like the next day and like they'd make it out in some...
Yeah. Because usually if that's the case, then there was not like a due process of law and everything. So they had to, have a trial and all of that. But the short story, and part of the reason I have a bunch of sources on here is that if you want to go find out more, you can read these. I have them all at the library. But the short story is that Thomas and Lizzie, who were the people that were murdered, lived on a houseboat in St. Louis. Noble Shepherd was their neighbor. He lived in a tent nearby. He claimed that he and Lizzie had an intimate relationship, and that Thomas, and the reason I'm using first names, part of the reason I'm using first names is that they all had very convoluted last names, which I'll get to in a second. But Noble said Thomas had caught him and Lizzie together and attacked Lizzie, and so Noble was, defending her and accidentally killed Thomas. But this was after several days that they even figured out that he had been the one that killed Thomas, because first they just found Lizzie extremely injured on the houseboat by herself. A third of her skull was gone. She had been attacked with an axe. I mean, it was horrific. And they didn't find Thomas or Noble, and so they didn't know who was to blame. Thought it might be Thomas initially, and then his dog kept barking at like a spot in the sand for days, and they finally dug it up, and that's where Thomas's body had been buried.
Oh my!
And then they arrested Noble, who was very flippant about the whole thing. I mean, they took him to the morgue to look at Thomas's body, and were like, "Did you kill this guy?" And he was like, "I don't know. Maybe like take some more of the mud off of his face." Like he was so, and then they brought him into Lizzie's hospital room, because Lizzie, despite the fact that a third of her skull was missing, lived for another month.
Oh my God.
It was horrific. Yes. And so they brought him. They brought this guy into the hospital room of the person that he had attempted to murder. And she kept saying, "This is the murderer." She was not super coherent. But for a time, they actually thought that she might survive. So it was...
Wow.
And then she also completely denied having any sort of intimate relationship with this guy, Noble's story kept changing. He just kind of changed depending on what they found and what evidence they had and all of that. And then Thomas's mother came to town to identify his body, and there was money missing, there was a watch missing, and they found out that Noble had pawned the watch. And so at this point, both the police and family members were pretty sure that it wasn't a jealousy issue. It wasn't motivated by an intimate relationship. It was greed, and he had just taken the opportunity to murder some people for some money. So I was also, determined to kind of clear Lizzie's name, because I felt like not only did she get murdered, but her reputation was just destroyed in this way by this guy. Luckily, all of that was happening in the 1800s at that time. So it wasn't like her reputation had to be cleared years later. And still, I mean, there are articles from the beginning that are about how she was, cheating on her significant other and all that stuff. So despite the best efforts of the newspaper at the time and then me now to kind of clear that up, and we'll never know for sure, but to clear that up to the best of our abilities, she still, had all these things written about her and told about her by this awful guy. And then she died. And obviously Thomas had already died. And so his body is buried in Newport, Kansas, and Lizzie's body is buried at the Alton Cemetery.
Could you imagine losing a third of your skull in a hospital bed in 1924?
In 1894.
Oh, in 1894.
Even more.
Excuse me.
30 fewer years of medical.
So exactly, 130 years ago, where they gave you a mockingbird to peck at your darn scab to heal you. And you got a buffoon in the newspaper or anywhere writing about potential falsehoods about your romantic life.
Right.
That's terrible.
It's terrible.
Man, and we think we had a bad day. Yeah.
It was, right. Puts everything in perspective.
But the Alton connection here I find fascinating just because of the fact that her dad was actually a Civil War Union veteran and an Alton police officer too, and a prize fiddler.
Okay, so that I had to do some more research on. That's another thing that doesn't make it into the article, but I had to put that in there because every article mentioned that he was a prize fiddler. I mean,
was he like the Elvis of fiddler?
Yes. Be about, how devastated he was about his daughter's death, and also prize fiddler. So I was
That's not funny, but it's funny.
I mean, it was so
That's so local news. That is so local
news. So I looked more into it, and it turned out when he was a child, he'd had some sort of accident where he cut off several of his toes, and while he was recovering, he couldn't do anything else, so he learned how to play the fiddle really, 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 really well. And then he was this just master fiddler for the rest of his life. So that's what people knew him for. But yeah, very, very important local fiddler.
I guess you could always count on him to lose the foot chase, huh?
That's what I need to do that.
Okay, back to my stupidity. With that being said, what I find fascinating is just the way people live too. These locations are very non-traditional murder scenes. You know, like house in Alton. Like you wouldn't think. You got the marina houseboats and folks who live there, but houseboats and tents and. It's very fascinating, actually. It gives me the vibe of a settler's town in a settler's area, you know?
Well, yeah, and I tried to look at some of the sandboard maps for St. Louis to figure out, exactly where. And it was further down the river from where the location of the sandboard maps in this time period were. But, yeah, this is just, going to the foot of a street in St. Louis, in downtown St. Louis, and there are houseboats and tents.
Right.
But that was normal. It wasn't. They were a more permanent kind of fixture there. But yeah, it was really confusing too because I had to kind of try to figure out what was normal and what was going back to the name thing. Thomas he was going by Thomas Morton, but his actual last name when his mom came to town was Thomas George Gilroy. So Morton was a name that he took, but he'd also been the proprietor of a traveling variety show. So it may very well have just been his stage name. I don't think that there was anything necessarily nefarious about that. And then Lizzie was Lizzie Pack Leahy, Lizzie Pack was her name she was born with, and then Leahy was the name of her estranged husband. And then some things said Lizzie Morton. So some things said that they were married. Some things said that they were living together, as husband and wife. And then she had apparently, one of the Alton Telegraph articles said that, she had introduced him to her family. Like, she'd been estranged for her husband for quite a bit of time at this point. So there was no overlap there. But she introduced him as her fiance. Like, it was a serious enough relationship that's why there's a quote that said, Noble Shepard's story of his illicit relations with Lizzie Morton, Thomas Morton's wife or mistress, is now regarded as only one more of the many lies he has told concerning the tragedy, because they weren't even quite sure like what category to put it. Wow. I mean, now you would just say like significant other or partner or whatever.
Right.
But it was so rigid in that time period that it was kind of like wife or mistress. There was no like in between sort of description of that. So then you're dealing with all these like morality lenses of what was appropriate for that time period. So yeah, it was a very, like I said, very twisty. And that doesn't even get to the 1924 section of it.
Yeah, whenever he just never turned himself in.
Yeah, okay. So Governor Hyde basically said, yeah, no, you should definitely turn yourself in, but I can't make any promises. We'll look positively on the fact that you're turning yourself in, but I'm not going to put in the Post-Dispatch, like, you're good, dude.
To go. Get out of death free card. You know?
So here's my probably favorite part about this whole thing. So he writes back. Do you want to read the letter or do you want me to read the letter?
You go for it.
Okay, so this is the letter, the second letter from Noble Shepard, printed on October 13th, 1924, so just a couple weeks after the original one. I saw your reply to my letter in the Post-Dispatch, and I think it would be dangerous to give myself up. It would be suicide on my part, as I have no friends or money to help me. I would never have escaped if I got a term in the penitentiary. But just before I escaped, I saw a man named Fitzgerald hanged, and I made up my mind that hanging was not right. Here it is.
Neither was butchering people.
This will close my case. No hard feelings on my part. Yours truly, Noble Shepard.
And that's the mind of a psycho.
We're good now. Yeah, that was the moment where I was like, okay, this guy didn't have any remorse at the time that it happened, and 30 years later is like, nah, I'm good. I'm just gonna.
I mean, this guy is like the precursor to the Zodiac guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's just.
Goodness.
I know he killed two people. I wonder what he was doing in that other 30 years. And he apparently had like a wife and a kid somewhere else too that didn't know what had happened to him, and then they read about this.
That's the sequel.
Yeah.
That's the sequel.
Yeah. So I don't know what I couldn't find any other records about him after that.
This was pretty good. I like this one. What are you writing about next, or what are we talking about next week?
We are talking about the Piasa bird.
Cuckoo!
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that's the Battlehawks.
That's all right. We don't know what the Piasa bird sounded like.
And Noble Shepard roams free to this day. I'm just kidding, he doesn't.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Mungan Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Mungan Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Mungan Burkhardt carries the tradition. new name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
No matter the season, Played Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Played Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Trying to come in, I'm like, am I at the right place?
A little bit of construction ain't stopping us today, Claudia. How are we?
We're doing great. Thank you for having me.
How is everything at Happy Hour Barber Stop?
Busier than ever. We're thriving. We're loving it.
That's awesome. And, you know, I just thought it was really cool. You guys are having your 5th trunk or treat coming up in
Correct.
just a couple of days, October the 19th.
Correct.
And always a good time to have a community day, huh?
Absolutely. We get so excited about putting this show for the kiddos. You know, to me, that's a big deal, giving back to the community.
Really cool. So what
Yeah.
can we expect from 5 to 7 on the 19th?
So we're going to have lots of candy for the kiddos, surprises, goodies. We also have our special guest, which is our SWAT team or SWAT truck comes
That's
out
cool.
and give out candy as well.
Really cool.
So yeah, we have a lot of helpers, you know, that come do the job with us, and we love it.
You're doing something right because there's 700 people that responded to this event already. Do you have enough candy for this?
Yes, we do.
So I'm sure that folks are encouraged to dress up in their best costumes
Yes.
and go.
We
and
do
be
have a costume contest as well every year.
really
so,
cool.
Yes.
Prizes awarded?
Yes, absolutely. We get first, second, and third prize.
I'm nosy. What are the prizes?
We can't tell.
Oh,
We gotta show up.
Okay, I like this. Well, and what better, especially these trunk or treats are so much safer now too.
Absolutely.
You know, and you know, I still like the old trick or treating, but I get it. And to have a spot where you can go and know that, you know, everyone's safe, you're
Right,
gathered around folks, and know that you can, you know, maybe let your, you know, 9 or 10-year-old kind of walk around and not have to.
We don't turn
hover
anybody
and all.
down. You
I
know,
love this.
kids
Yeah.
are always going to be kids. I don't care if you're 18, you want to come get candy.
That's
I'm
cool.
okay
I
with
like
that.
this. Okay, so there's no age
There's
requirement?
no age requirement.
I like this a
No.
lot. Now, can people bring their trunks to decorate, or is this all
Yes.
provided by you?
Well, everything's provided by me, but like I said, the more the merrier when it comes to help. You know, I do
Yeah.
struggle finding people that help me out. So
Oh,
I
I'm
kinda
sure.
have to pull it to you. Like,
So what are you doing on the 19th? You know. Remember I dog sat 5 years
I
ago?
know.
I get it. But how can people register or just let you know they want to be a part of it?
I mean, they can just contact me at the shop at Happy Hour, and you know, I do provide food for them, complimentary drinks, everything they want, as long as they show up and help us out. That's all I ask.
Really cool. And now, how early, if someone wanted to be a vendor, have their trunk full of candy for everyone, do you like 4 o'clock, 4:30 that day?
Yeah, that would be great. We don't actually have vendors because I want this to
Right.
be a completely free event for the families.
Well, and that's what I think's great too, is that free component when I saw that, because so many people right now are struggling, you know, and
Yes.
no one wants to worry about the dollar sign whenever, you know, the child just wants to go out and have
absolutely.
fun, and I think that's great.
Absolutely.
Well, and how long have you had Happy Hour now?
So almost 6 years.
That's
December
what I
1st will
thought.
be 6 years. Yes.
Man, that's crazy how fast time's going by. And it seems like every year you just keep growing and growing, too.
Yes, right now I'm big remodeling in the front area.
Are you really?
Everybody diagnosis needed. But yeah, that's coming along. By the end of this month is going to be a new place.
Well, and
I'm excited.
Well, just talking with you, it seems like everyone's really booked up, and there's not a lot of. There's still openings,
we are
I'm
hiring.
sure. Oh,
yeah, we are hiring desperately. We can't keep up with the people.
There you
that
go.
come
Some
through,
employment
yes.
opportunities at 1040. If someone is qualified and they want to start their new journey on their career, what's the best way to do that? Just Facebook or giving you a phone call?
Yeah, Facebook. Call us at 618-363-4860.
We're going to get a couple of things accomplished today. We're going to get a new hire, and we're going to tell people about this
I like
trunk or
this.
treat.
I like it.
So what's the staff feeling like around this time? Because I'm sure that, you guys, no one realizes the life of a stylist and barber and all of that, because you guys are going nonstop. When we're ready to have the best day of our life or go to that event,
Yes.
you're still there in the shop throughout, the cold months, the summer months and all that. So to have this type of day it seems like it's a good morale booster for your staff and just you in general.
Right. So one fun thing about me, I never stop.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So to me it works. I love my job. I love what I do, and I have a great team right now that works for me. So we're doing great.
Really cool. Well, and now how many folks or trunks are you expecting to have at the event so far?
So I'm still trying to get a final count, but I'm thinking at least right now we have about 12.
Really cool.
Yes.
Nice. And for 2 hours, I mean, that's more than enough, and a lot of opportunities for kids to get their fixing in before the Halloween parade even starts.
We'll get them hyped up and send them home.
Well, and so if you're just tuning in, October the 19th, as you see, from 5 to 7 p.m. at 4619th North Albee Street in Godfrey. You're next to Freer, correct?
Correct.
We're
down
a little bit further.
A little bit further on the opposite side.
And now, is there any parking logistics with the event for people that want to go?
For the prior years, what people do just kind of park on the street. So that's basically where they have security out there sometimes. So
really cool. And is the remodeling process going on currently?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
I like this. So you can kind of get a sneak peek of what's to come.
Yes.
Well, and for the folks that maybe haven't stopped in yet or checked out the Facebook page, take us through what Happy Hour specializes in case folks want to change up their hair routine.
So the way we work, we're basically walk-ins only. Mm-hmm. Oh, we are walk-ins only.
I like that.
And people just come sit down. We have like several arcade games that they can everything's free play. Mm-hmm. We have a complimentary fridge that they want to serve themselves to a drink. They're more than welcome, and just
really
makes
cool.
the wait so much easier.
And is there anything that you guys specialize in? Because I know that you said it's a lot of
barbershop.
Barbershop. So
yes.
Now I got a question. Do you have to ever convince somebody that's walking in, because you know how especially guys are, that haircut hasn't changed since the 7th grade for some of these folks?
Correct.
Is there ever a conversation that do you offer advice if someone needs it on what the next chapter looks like?
Absolutely. I'm sorry. No, and I feel like something's not going to work for them.
Yeah.
I'm honest. I'm very honest. My customers can tell you.
I love this. This is great. Okay. So I think this is an awesome opportunity to learn more about Happy Hour, because especially barber, haircutting and stylists and all that, you need to have a connection with the individual. I truly believe,
they become family.
Yeah,
for sure.
And this is a great way too, just to check out what you guys have to offer and get the kind of the vibe and the atmosphere. And what better way than to go bring your little one for 2 hours of fun and go and be a part of it. Now, what time's the costume contest at the event?
So the way we do it, whoever comes in, we just kind of take pictures of them, and then we go through Facebook and kind of like figure that out, who the winner is going to be. So they don't have to be present to win or anything.
Oh, really
like
cool.
That. Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
And then as we are, kind of just wrapping up the event portion of the overview, take us through what all we can expect on the 19th from 5 to 7. I know there's a costume contest, but I know that you were talking a little bit earlier about just some of the different candy and some of the opportunities there too. Just to kind of wrap it up and summarize the event for us, if you could.
Well, like I said, we're going to have lots and lots of candy, more than we can keep up with. Little toys, the stuff that kids really enjoy. And I promise you I'll make sure that we'll have plenty for those 800 people that want to come by.
I love this. Yeah, look at this. 698 people responded already to this trunk or treat, the 5th time that you guys have had this. And I'm assuming there will be a 6th.
Correct. Well, if I can get the help, that's
That's a good
my
point.
struggle.
I can totally see that though, because it is a lot to put on. And how long does it take to kind of get everything ready to go for this?
So I pretty much from the minute I wake up that day, I work all day, try to get everything set out. So it's definitely quite a few hours.
Oh, I bet.
Quite a few hours.
And is there any costumes that you guys don't want to, like, any gore or anything like? Because I know that there are some requirements sometimes for trunk or treats.
I wouldn't say more gore. I mean, definitely nothing inappropriate.
Yeah.
We're definitely a family-friendly place, and I want things to be clean.
There you go. I just wanted to. I'm glad I asked, because you never know.
You're right. You never know.
You really don't. And Claudia, I just think it's great that you guys are doing this, and love the fact that the spooky season, the Riverbend always has fun like this as we lead up to the Halloween parade. What's the best way for people to kind of stay up to date on the event? I'm sure weather dependent, of course.
Definitely our Facebook page.
Really
cool. We keep everything very Instagram, Facebook. That's our way.
And if you need a haircut, stop on into the shop and get taken care of before the event, so you're looking pretty fresh and spooky ahead of the annual trunk or treat costume contest, where winners will be awarded. You don't need to be present to win, so that's great. And then is it just one big costume contest? Any age categories or anything like that?
Age categories.
Oh, really cool.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I like this. This is great. Bring the little one Saturday, October the 19th from 5 to 7 p.m. And in the meantime, go get your hair taken care of. Come on now. It's the middle of October. Stop on in to 4619th North Albee Street in Godfrey. Say hi to Claudia. See the remodel? How long is it going to take to get the front done?
Well, by the end of October, you'll see definitely a progress.
I love it. Keep up the great work. And if you have anything else coming down the pipeline and want to share, stop by.
Thank you so much.
10:45, a little bit of change, more Daily Show right after this on RiverBender.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Welcome back to our Daily Show. Here's CJ.
10:48 on this Wednesday morning. Welcome back to our daily show. Hey guys, get your tickets now for the first ever Great Rivers and Routes Beverage Festival, Craft Beverage Festival, celebrating a local craft beverage and their producers on Saturday, November the 2nd, from noon to 4 p.m. at Old Bakery Beer Company, 400 Landmarks Boulevard in Alton. A limited number of tickets are available for the festival, which features signature pours from craft beer, wines, and spirits producers based right here in Southwest Illinois. Tickets are $25, and they include a commemorative glass, drinks paired with food from local restaurants. There are $10 tickets available for designated drivers, which includes glass, non-alcoholic drinks, and food, which can be purchased with a hyperlink on the RiverBender.com press release. A quote from Corey Job, President, CEO of Great Rivers and Routes. We have a wide range of craft beverage products in the Great Rivers and Routes region, and they put a lot of time, energy, and talent into their signature pours. They deserve a festival dedicated to showcasing their craftsmanship, and this event puts a spotlight on the best craft beverages the region has to offer. Craft beverage connoisseurs can enjoy drinks from local craft producers, including wineries like Wild Pickens Winery and Grafton Winery and Brewhouse, craft beer brewers, Old Bakery Beer Company, Schlafly and Highland Square, Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, and Red Rooster Brew Works. Spirit producers include Blue Stem Vodka Distillery and Old Herald Brewery and Distillery. Craft beverage producers Moondrops and Wellness, Eckerd's Earth Candy, and Flourish Farms will be there. Food will be provided by Blackbird Bakery and Cafe, the Mother Road Fudge Shop, Old Bakery Beer Company, Fox's Boxes, and so much more. Throughout the event, Andre Dahl will provide live music. You can learn more by going to riversandroutes.com. That's riversandroutes.com. And you can learn more by clicking on the hyperlink on RiverBender.com's article. Finally, and more serious news today, Dalton Brown providing this, and wanted to make sure we hit on this before we closed out the show with a little bit of a different way than I normally do. No All-Star Award today or on this date in history. Always like to take a pause from that just because, always good to keep it on and spicing things up so you aren't used to the same show every day. This is out of Alton, and Dalton Brown does have this story. A series of serious felonies have been filed against an Alton man accused of home invasion, domestic battery, and more. Clarence L. McRae Jr., 41 years of age, of Alton, was charged on October the 1st with home invasion, a Class X felony, aggravated domestic battery, a Class 2 felony, and theft, a Class 3 felony. A petition was filed to deny McRae's pretrial release. It describes the incident, which occurred on September the 30th, as follows. The victim reported that her ex-boyfriend entered her apartment without permission and damaged her property. He then struck her face, threw her to the ground, strangling her. The defendant then fled, taking the victim's cell phone. The petition adds McRae has, quote, a long history of domestic violence, end quote. End quote. This includes 3 prior Madison County criminal cases. McRae committed his latest domestic battery offense while on conditional pretrial release for battery of the same victim. McRae's latest case was presented by the Alton Police Department, and he was ordered remanded to jail for his initial court appearance. We'll have more on this case as it does develop, but please note, as always, the issuance of charges is based upon probable cause. Finally, today, before I say goodbye for now and talk to you tomorrow, it might be October the 9th, but guess what's coming up in just about, 3 weeks? It ain't Thanksgiving. Christmas season in the Riverbend is coming. down the pipeline. And always one of the best ways to celebrate Christmas is with the Salvation Army and the Red Kettle campaign. The Salvation Army Madison County Corps Advisory Council did announce that John and Kathy Keller will lead the 2024 Red Kettle campaign, which aims to raise $422,000 to support local families in need. This goal marks a 20% increase from the previous year's fundraising goals. John Keller, who has served as the president of the Riverbend Growth Association since 2017, he emphasized the importance of community involvement. Here's what he had to say. I've always been a believer in giving back locally, whether it's through volunteerism or donations. Giving increases personal pride in your community. By volunteering to ring or just donating to the kettle, you are helping those in need right here in the Riverbend. The campaign will run from the 29th of November to December the 24th at participating area businesses. Now, due to a shortened season, bell ringing will begin early on November the 18th at Deerberg locations. The Salvation Army also expressed gratitude to Schnucks for its Roundup at the Register initiative, which will begin 2 weeks leading up to Thanksgiving. Captain Casey Gray of the Salvation Army highlighted the increasing need within the community with this quote: "We've seen a dramatic increase in the needs of our community over the last year, noting a 20% increase in the rise of food insecurity. In 2023, the Red Kettle campaign provided Christmas baskets to 630 families, financially assisted 2,030 individuals, and Christmas gifts were given to 10,380 area children." Kathy Keller shared her perspective on community support, stating, quote, "Anyone who knows me knows that I'm all about family. Family gives us a sense of belonging. Our community, it's a family. Giving in our own families creates a strong foundation. Giving to our community does the same thing." The Salvation Army is seeking approximately 1,500 volunteers to cover bell ringing shifts from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., Monday through Sunday. Interested individuals can register to volunteer by going to registertoring.com. That's registertoring.com. Those in need of assistance are encouraged to contact the Salvation Army at 618-465-7764. And that's 618-465-7764. And want to wish John and Kathy the best of luck and the Salvation Army ahead of their Red Kettle campaign. And just like always, I know the Riverbend region will be rallying around them to support, and we can't wait to be out there for the tree lighting ceremony yet again on RiverBender.com. Hey, before I say goodbye for now, call Denise Sparks. Yeah, I'm yelling. I found my energy just for about a minute and a half, and now my head is ringing again. I'm glad they quit the concrete saw outside. You know, it's the little things in a broadcast so you wouldn't think get you, but that one kind of did today. Hey, wanted to fill you in because Denise Sparks is the best about what she does. We were just talking about that Salvation Army Red Kettle campaign, and remember, Denise Sparks offers that free Christmas tree pickup the couple of days that follow Christmas for free. That's her community initiative. Every day is a community initiative at Sparks Junk Removal and Hauling, whether or not it's going to that warehouse location that's now thankfully being cleaned up after that horrific accident, where you can get resell furniture in wonderful pieces at a fraction of a cost. And it's that eco-friendly sustainability that Denise Sparks does better than anybody through her junk removal and hauling services. But the big thing, it's great to see this. A couple of years ago, Denise told me, she said, CJ, I am taking on the big company. I'm going to be that alternative trash option. And now those purple and yellow trash cans are multiplying, and they're mating like rabbits. They're everywhere. Bing, 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 and DeAdrian and Morrow and Bethalto. And it's because Denise Sparks cares about her community but most importantly, she cares about her customers. Remember those days when the company actually cared when you were canceling? She's there to help you every step of the way. And, it could be something as simple as, hey, Denise, my father is on utilizes your trash service, but, it's really hard for him to pick up that trash and take it out to the can. Can you help him out? They can with their valet trash service. Well, they'll go into that individual's house that has that mobility issue or has some of those issues, and they'll pick it up right from the kitchen can, right from the receptacle. They'll take it outside to their can, roll it down to the driveway, put it in their truck, roll your trash can back, and head on down the road. That's that community service. You can learn more by giving Denise a call today or by going to sparksjunkremoval.net and reclaiming your space today. We are out of time. I'll see you tomorrow for more of our daily show. Hopefully my migraine's gone by then. This has been rough. Until then, have a great day, but most importantly, try your best to stay out of jail.